Hello students, I am going to handle for B.Sc first sem general chemistry paper with the topic nomenclature, that is IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry of Bifunctional Aliphatic Compounds. In the early days of the development of organic chemistry, we used to call many organic compounds by their common names at the whims and whims of the discoverer, and there was no system. If we call any compound by common name, we were unable to write its structure. So because of that, in 1957, they started IUPAC system, that is Uniform System for Naming the Compound, is IUPAC, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, was started. The purpose of the IUPAC system of nomenclature is to establish an international standard of naming compounds to facilitate communication all over the world. The goal of this system is to give each compound a unique name, unambiguous, that is without any confusion name, so that we are able to write its structure. Let us see some of the rules we have to follow for naming alkanes by using IUPAC system. Let us see the rules for naming alkanes, which are as follows. There are about 5 rules. Let us see one by one. Select the longest chain possible, which is continuous carbon chain, and this is treated as parent compound. Let us see in this example. This is the longest chain, and here you can see the substituent here at the fourth position. So this is the longest chain and this is the parent compound. The second rule says number the carbon chain such that substituent gets minimum number. So you can see here substituent is at 4th position. If you start numbering from here or here, in this case it is 4th position. So this is the minimum number. Suppose imagine if there are, see, one more carbon here, that is one more CH3 group here, and it will become CH2, 8th carbon atom, then you cannot start number from here because this becomes 5. So whenever you start numbering, you should see that the substituent where carbon is present, that should get lower number. The third rule, when more than one substituent is present, number the carbon chain such that the sum of the locands is minimum. Say for example, imagine at the 6th position you have ethyl group. At 4th position we have methyl group. At 6th position ethyl group. Then you cannot start number from this side. You have to start numbering from this side, because this position where substituents are placed, they are called locands. So if you sum up these two locands, the number you should get is minimum number. Suppose imagine at the 3rd position you have ethyl group. So 3 plus 4 is 7. But here I gave at 6th position, if ethyl group is present, 6 plus 4 is 10. In that case, numbering cannot be done from this side, it should be from this side. So wherever substituents are present, such locands, if you sum up, the number should be minimum. If same substituent repeats, then we use di, tri, tetra, etc. with locands. So already I told you the position where the substituent is present, this is called locand. So if one more methyl substituent is present at 3rd position, what you have to say, it is dimethyl. Similarly, one more, if it is present here, it is trimethyl. Likewise, you have to add di, tri or tetra with the locand. If different substituents are present, they are arranged in the alphabetical order. As I said, imagine at the third position, ethyl group is present. So at the fourth position, we have methyl. At the third position, ethyl. So E comes first in the alphabet. So according to the alphabetical order, then it becomes 3 ethyl, 4 methyl compound. Okay, so IUPAC name is a single word. You can see here, this is the single word. This is name of this compound. It is IUPAC naming. It consists of 3 parts. First one is root word, second is suffix, third is prefix. Here you can see hept is the root word. I am going to explain in the next slide. And prefix is 4-methyl. 4-methyl is the prefix. Prefix means before the root word comes. Suffix means after the root word, A and E is the suffix. So any IUPAC name, it contains these 3 parts. The order of IUPAC name is prefix, root word, later suffix. The root word indicates the number of carbon atoms in the chain. I told you here it is hept. Means you know heptane it is. Heptane means it contains 7 carbon atoms. So the root word indicates the number of carbon atoms present in the compound. Let us now get familiar with some of the terminologies. Already I told you about root word will be there, suffix and prefix. These 3 let us discuss in detail. So what this root word indicates? It indicates the number of carbon atoms present in the longest selected carbon chain. Suppose if the compound you have methane, it is meth. It's only single carbon atom. Suppose if your compound contains 5 carbon atoms, then we use pent. In this case, it is hept. If it contains 8 carbon atoms, it is oct. Now we'll pass on to the suffix. A suffix is generally a functional group it indicates in the given compound. Then it can be divided into 2 types, primary suffix, secondary suffix. Now we know suffix well deals with functional group. It contains primary suffix, secondary suffix. What this primary suffix indicates? If we write this immediately after the root word, for example, if it is alkanes, we use the suffix ane. If it is alkenes, we use ene. If it is alkynes, yne. So, ane, ene, yne, all these are primary suffix. Suppose if it takes secondary suffix, it really deals with, after primary suffix, we are going to write secondary suffix which deals with the functional groups like maybe alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, etc. So what we do right here is alkanol. Here, alkane, if OH group is present, alkanol. We add E letter is removed, OL is added. OL is added for alcohol. Similarly, AL is added for aldehydes, alkanol. If it is ketone, instead of E, what we add is ONE. So, functional groups are indicated by secondary suffix. Prefix. Add the prefix to the root word while naming IUPAC name. So what again here prefix is also, it is divided into primary prefix and secondary prefix. Excuse me. Primary prefix indicates whether the molecule is cyclic or not. For example, if cyclic compounds are there, cyclobutane, cyclopropane, in that case, we use the prefix cyclo. For the secondary prefix, it indicates the presence of substituent groups on any side chain. For example, it may be methyl, it may be bromo, chloro, ethyl, etc. Let us see here. In this case, one example, it has been named. Here we have given the number where the substituents should get minimum number. And at the second locand position, you can see the methyl group. And at the third position, we see the functional group OH group. So it is alcoholic compound, right? If we give the name, it becomes 2-methyl, 3-pent and all, because it is alcoholic compound. Similarly, if we see here, even the double bond or triple bonds are also considered as functional groups. So, how to number this? Because here it is functional group is there and substituents are there. So, we cannot start numbering from here. We have to start numbering from here. So, it is 3-ethyl, and again here there are two substituents, methyl and ethyl, but ethyl comes first according to alphabetical order. So, 3-ethyl, 3-methyl, 1-pentyl, because it is alkyne. So, if you name any compound, it contains locand, this is the locand, prefix, this is the prefix, primary prefix, right? Then we write the root word. There are two prefixes. That's why we have written 3-ethyl, 3-methyl, right? Again, we write the locand. Sorry, here after prefix, we write root word. Okay. After root word, again we write locand, or sometimes locand can be again written first, and you write the pent is the root word and suffix is Y-N-E, primary suffix. Sometimes some they write pent 1 Y-N-E. That also can be written. So we discussed this as an example also. Now let us see this compound which has two functional groups. So bifunctional aliphatic compound. When there are two functional groups, how we can give IUPAC name for this? Let us see naming of compounds with functional bifunctional groups. Step 1, what we have to follow? Find the highest priority functional group. Determine and name the longest continuous carbon chain. So find the highest priority functional group. So here if you see, BFG is the highest priority functional group. You can see in this slide, I have shown the order of priority. So these are the priority, order of priority for different functional groups. If you compare ketone and alcohol, this ketone gets highest priority compared to alcohol. That's why in this compound, this ketone has got highest priority. So that's why then the other functional group becomes substituent. As a result, what we write is we have to start numbering from the functional group itself. So finally we write 4-hydroxy. So then it becomes substituent like. Then at the position 2 you have ketone. So 2-pentanone. So find the highest priority functional group, determine and name the longest continuous carbon chain. Step 2. Number the chain so that the highest priority functional group is assigned with lower number. So that's what we saw here. So while numbering, we number that PFG should get lowest number. These are the order of priority, and even here if you have carboxylic, sulfonic, ester, acid, halide, amide, okay, these are the order. Again, suppose if some special elements like nitrogen is present, that gets its priority compared to oxygen, compared to C double bond C, and compared to C triple bond C. This gets least priority. The third step says the carbon chain with multiple substituents are there, multiple bonds are there, then we have to replace with ANE, ENE for alkene and YNE for alkyne. Already we have discussed. Designate the position of the multiple bond with the number of the first carbon of the multiple bond. So we saw in this example here, we have shown the position also 1 pent I because triple bond is present at first carbon atom. The molecule includes functional groups, then replace the last E, this E, or this E, or this E with the suffix of the highest priority functional group and include its position number. So that's what we have done here. You saw here, instead of pent A, ANE, E has been replaced by ONE because it is ketone. Similarly here, ANE, E has been replaced by OL, the functional group. Indicate all the substituents and functional groups of lower priority with a prefix. When other substituents, they are taken as lower priority and they are used as prefix. Place the prefixes with appropriate position numbers in an alphabetical order before the root name. That's what we have done in this case. Here, now OH group, even though it is an alcoholic functional group, but it is treated as substituent and it is written as prefix. Only this highest priority functional group is written as secondary suffix. So these are the textbooks I have referred. So this textbook is very much useful for especially nomenclature of alkanes, alkynes, alkenes, compounds, bifunctional aliphatic compounds. This textbook is also very useful. You can refer any textbook giving information about nomenclature. This is Digital Learning, Department of Collegiate Education is presenting before you. Thank you, students. All the best. Study well.